guys, this is Fee.
Hi, my name is Sue.
And this is
Dear
Dear
Bride.
Finally.
Well, let me just tell you today the challenge is.
But finally we are here.
Yes.
Nice seeing you guys again.
Episode 6.
And before we get right into it, if you have not subscribed, please click that button down below there.
Yes.
Subscribe button and also the notification bell so that anytime we post content, you'll be the first one to be notified.
Yes. Hey, we are halfway through this season.
I know, imagine.
It has been a long time coming.
Yeah, and it's amazing to just see people engaging us and talking to us and telling us their experiences.
Yes.
Keep commenting. We keep reading, and anything that you say, for example, you want us to tackle, please feel free to put on the comment section.
Yeah.
We go through the comment section, by the way, and we will we will talk about that in our episodes as we go along. So what are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about the journey to I do. So the process towards the wedding, actually.
Exactly, yeah.
And
basically what it entails.
The different aspects
the
of
various
wedding
aspects.
Planning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we might not cover everything in this episode, but then we will try as much as possible to cover as much as we can. So let's get right into it.
I think the first part of I do means you're already engaged.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there are people who engagement, by the way.
But there are people who, I wanted to say, there are people who get engaged the night before, like the day before their wedding.
Let me tell you. By the way, Christians, sometimes we are jokers.
Tell us about it.
Well, the reason why I say we are jokers is this. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a plague of Christian men or it's just, both Christian men and women.
And depends.
Kwa sababu, I know there's a lady I know whom I think maybe let's start from this. Most times in a Christian relationship, by the time you guys are starting to think about the wedding or talking about weddings, most times it means you've already consented to getting married. Ring or no ring. However, I don't know how important is it for someone to have that symbol to show
I know, because
engaged.
More often than not, because we've already started the process, we've done introductions and all, we've been going through the process.
Yes.
There's the tendency to assume they already consented, so let's keep going.
So could that be is it laxity?
I think it could be laxity, but it also could be both of them are assuming that they're on the same page. So they don't have to ask. So for me, what happened is I actually was engaged before my ratio and right after my introduction. Like after we did the introduction and they knew our place, I knew their place. Before we did our ratio in March, I got engaged in December.
Oh, that's good. So you had some time to
enjoy so I had some time. Yes. But then I was just feeling like, because I had already told him not to do a public. I'm not
proposal.
I would run away.
Yeah.
So he actually needed my word, and he did a very private, nice engagement in December.
Good. So it was just the two of you?
Yeah, it was just the two of us. And it was such a good one. But then later on, two of our other friends joined us, and it was just like a toned down thing. Actually, now other people came to know that I was engaged
when they saw the ring. It's the same thing for us. I also don't like public things. I'm like, let's converse.
I know. I say to that.
Tujuane through mimi na wewe, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so ours was in the bush.
Eish.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I always wanted a bush engagement. And Victor listened. So
you see, these people, they
listen.
Listening is key. Yes. Listen and know what they want. Don't think, there's this assumption that when a woman says they don't want this, they actually want it. Nowadays, I think we no longer speak
Don't get me on the
Hindi or
don't start me on the
no.
stereotypes, by the way.
Don't stereotype at she said she doesn't want public, so it means she wants
Yeah.
your.
If I
Please
say,
just listen.
well, I think also on the flip side, know your person.
True.
Maybe
True.
when she says yes, she means no. But then in this scenario, most times nowadays women have backbones.
Yes,
And
like
also
they
because we've been given
know.
the power of choice, we know what we want.
Yeah.
So when I tell you I
True.
want bush, I want bush. I don't want public and you dancing.
And-
Go TRM. No.
Dubai Mall, in the middle of Dubai Mall where there's everyone and no.
Yeah, so ours was
Yeah.
private. We had the photographer obviously and my siblings. My siblings were part of it as well. Yeah.
so
So it was like a small getaway. It was like, oh, let's go for a random
For
shoot.
a
Well, it wasn't
random-
a random shoot. So what actually happened? We were supposed to have our engagement earlier. Well, in my mind, I thought
Oh,
it
you
would be
thought.
earlier. So after we did the intros, my birthday was coming up like kidogo soon. It wasn't bali. So I remember on my birthday I was expecting the engagement day to be on that day. But then I asked, where's my ring? And he was like, I'm your gift. I was like, what do you mean? Excuse me?
He's a gift by himself. But really,
You are a gift, but currently I want a different gift. Yeah, so he was like, I'm your gift. I was like, no, sir. So I was very disappointed. So I told him, because clearly it seems that you don't want to give me a ring. Well, if at all you're planning, you're making it, it's coming very slow, then I would rather we just have a shoot, an engagement shoot, so that people stop asking me.
You're not funny.
Yes.
Kwanza by they stop asking people that question unless you're that close, you're in that space. Don't just.
But then I understand why people
African
would ask,
society.
because there needs to be clarity. Because in a way, yes, we are engaged, but we're not engaged. And also
there
'cause-
wasn't any okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
I
sense.
mean, yes, it's one thing we have discussed it, me and you, and we know we are pangaing.
We're on the same page.
Yes, we
This
are
is
on the
what
same
we're
page. We are getting married. We are doing the processes that are supposed to be done for us to get to the I do part.
Yeah.
However, how about the people who surround us?
I get it.
Yeah, the people who
'Cause funny
surround
enough,
us.
contrary
They'll be
to-
like, okay, so you're engaged. Let me see your ring. What am I
No,
showing
funny
you?
enough, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
those ones who never had the pressure to even get engaged. It was just like our wedding will come and go. So it even caught
Yeah,
me by
me, I was
surprise.
like,
Me,
I
never
want that
even-
ring and I want it now. Where is
Yeah,
it?
those ones who
I gotta wear it.
Let's
I wanna
go.
enjoy it. What do you mean?
So me, I didn't even ask for it.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, you know what? We'll have our rush after that. We do our wedding. We move.
Yeah.
Engagement. What is? So I didn't even like. I never even thought about it.
Yeah.
Even but I usually actually say, I don't know. Is it that I never even thought about CG or a shoot for
I
CG
had
what?
envisioned it.
And this is why
I
we are
had a-
friends. We
yes.
compliment.
I
each other.
had a mood board. I had a mood board of the type
Guys.
of photos I want.
Guys.
I sent him. Let me tell you. I think maybe because I'm in the event space.
Probably.
I don't leave things to chance. So Victor will tell you, I had sent him options of what rings I wanted, the type of stone, the type of
Wait
metal.
a minute.
Yes. I was like, I don't want surprises. Let me help you. Help yourself. Help me. So, because this is a gift, this is what I want. And I want it to be like this. If at all you are thinking of proposing on this day, ensure that I have makeup on. Clearly,
Your cheap nails,
Yeah.
CG looking. You just
Well,
walk
nails,
up and then you're
I
opening
don't
your
really-
door and then surprise.
I never really bother with nails,
but your
I
hair and
my hair
how
had
you
to look
look.
good. Yes, I have to at least look presentable. It doesn't have to be,
Guys.
Well, makeup.
Guys.
I had to, and I was like, I need a photographer to be present. Those are memories I will cherish. So I need a photographer to be
I would tell
present.
us by the way what your preferences. What are you like me?
Yeah.
Who never even let's just
were
like
like-
our Rhoda show will come, our wedding will
Filanga
come.
free.
Yeah, filanga free. Like no pressure, you guys. Or are you like Sue? You even have a mood board.
Mood
You
board,
even
guys.
have what you want. Able tell
Let
us.
me tell you. I usually
Tell
tell
us.
even my brides, please, panga yourself. And I still feel there are things especially for like even the wedding, I feel like there are things I should have done that I didn't do. However, it wasn't pressure. It's something I enjoyed doing, and I was like, because this guy has never been engaged before, and I have been dreaming about my engagement, let me help him. So I assisted him. I was
By
like,
the way,
this is what
surprise. Me, I'm those ones who never even had dreamt about how they want their wedding to look like.
me, the moment we started talking about the wedding,
Yes,
now
that's when I
started-
thought about
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Like prior, when you see the way people say, when I was a kid, when I
Or
was
in
growing
movies.
up.
Which movie is
Yeah,
this?
I know. Or in movies. Me, I started thinking about it when like when I got
When it
into the
presented
moment, when it
itself.
presented itself.
Yeah.
So that's why I usually say, I think there's some things I probably would have changed because
Yeah.
I started thinking in the moment. And of course, when you're thinking in the moment, there are so many things that will.
Yes.
So if your dream, girl, write
Please.
them down.
Dreaming
Have
is
that
free.
mood board.
Yes. Dreaming is free. I usually
Every
tell
day it
even
is.
brides, dreaming is free. Then sasa once you get the budget, hapo ndio unajua mbivu na mbichi. You know, the chaff from the grain.
I know. And he actually, he said that.
He actually
he
did
actually
it.
did it.
Yes.
He actually followed what he had said and surprised
And Jackson
you.
did a good job with the photos. I was
Wow,
like,
that is
look
so
at this.
amazing.
Yeah.
Aww.
So that was the engagement. Oh, and then also, I think something else people don't do is talk to their siblings. Well, depending
Yes.
on whether you want your siblings or your best friend,
Oh, because for
talk
me,
to
it's
those
my
people.
my friends, my circle of friends. My best friend was involved in the choosing of the ring,
Exactly.
and I had no idea.
Yeah. Me, it was a surprise, but then
Later.
I sniffed the surprise kidogo.
Personally, I didn't.
Me, I
I was
sniffed
so.
it.
I think also
For
because
money.
I had not even hinted
Yeah.
and I had not even asked. So it caught
You
me
are okay
off
without.
guard. Yeah,
Whether
I was
it
okay whether it
happens,
happens or not.
bora niko na bwana. Yeah.
Me kote niko sawa.
I was like, bwana na
Bwana
ring.
Yesu alikuwa ashasema ndio.
Mimi nilikuwa nataka bwana Yesu na ring. Please, let's not complicate it.
So I think
Come correct.
I didn't even sniff it. I didn't. But you see, your circle has to be involved in one way or the other.
Yeah.
So please tell your friends, because I think
Or your
when I was
siblings,
dating, I
yeah.
talked to, because my sister then was in high school. Actually, was in primary. Guys, I am those ones who have sisters.
Ilikuwa primary.
It was- yeah, I've actually. Hey,
Let's
let's not
embrace
talk about
Sana.
it. So I had been telling my friend when I started dating. I told my friend, I think she randomly asked me if you are to be given a ring, what kind of ring? But I was like, it's not a must, but I would want
At all. This
so
is what, yeah.
that I think she had been sent to, or she was, she was asked, hey, when your friends,
Friends have to be
people in your circle.
investigators.
I know.
To know
So your
where-
sisters knew.
Did the thing.
Yeah, so it's important for you to actually, okay, as the man, it's important for you to reach out to the circle.
Yeah.
Your fiance.
But then I think
girlfriend
by the time
circle or
you're engaging a
siblings,
girl, surely, if
You
you
need to
don't
know.
know friends, that's a
I
red
know,
flag.
but
No?
it's a red flag. How are you engaging someone? You don't know their family, you don't know their friends, you don't even know what they want or how they would want things done. You want to surprise them, so you don't want to ask them. If you don't know the people around your person, might just need to recheck.
Completely.
Yeah. And so after that, we get to wedding planning.
Did you like your wedding planning process?
It was quite, let me just say, like you get to the wedding day and after, especially depending on the ceremony you're doing in the morning, the church ceremony, the different ceremonies that people do, you feel like, this is what I've been hustling for. Like 2 hours or less for those of us who do 1.5 hours.
I know the
We are
wedding.
done, but for me it was quite something. But I am glad that I have a spouse who is, is very focused and planning. So we sat down, the two of us,
Yeah.
and now we visualized what we would want before we even approached the people who wanted to help.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the most important aspects of planning is knowing your budget.
Or even before the budget, knowing what you want.
Yes, what you want. Because
Yes.
we sat down and discussed, this is what we would want. This is
It's the
an
same thing.
irreducible minimum.
Yeah.
Me, I do not want, I want the decor to look like this. I would want this to look like this. Like the irreducible, we are not also saying you just dream, yes, but also be realistic as you are dreaming.
Exactly.
That is why we are.
Know your pocket.
Yes, know your pocket also. So.
And we had mentioned, actually, most times we'll find most people getting married, like the majority, not that the other ages we will not specify are not part and parcel, but majority of the people get married in like their mid early 20s to like mid late 30s. They are a majority of the people.
Yeah.
So that means most times, not unless you're very lucky and you're privileged in one way or another, most times you're also just coming up professionally. Both of you,
you're just getting
and
your grounding.
person.
Yes.
Not unless in a unique situation you're marrying someone who's like 10 years older than you, who has more
Who has
experience.
already,
Yes. Yeah.
That's true. So you get together, we got together and discussed what we would want. For me, this is what I would want. And him is such a planner. So for me, I just wanted a nice wedding, honestly. I didn't want anything.
The bare minimum.
Yeah, I didn't want
At
anything
least,
complicated.
At least the
I was also a very cautious spender when it comes to such things. So I was like, I don't want to overspend and and start this whole marriage thing on just funny grounds. So I was like, I just want a nice church wedding. I want nice decor, a nice cake. We will source for the vendors together. I didn't have, I want this specific vendor, I want this, or a mood board or anything. I just knew the color I wanted. At least I knew the color.
Clearly, we were two different brides.
I just knew, I just want a nice ceremony. And then also, knowing he is a pastor, I knew we would have. So it was pre-COVID. So I knew the numbers as well would be quite something.
Yes.
So that's so what did you have in mind? So for me, I just had a nice wedding. Nothing complicated. Let's get this done. Let's get married. Let's start life.
Well, I am a typical millennial bride. A typical one. So Pinterest is your go-to. Yeah, but then now the bad thing about Pinterest is you can have a lot of analysis paralysis. Because it has a lot. It has so many
Pinterest has all these
popping out onto your face, and you're like, okay, I like this. I like this. Wait, I thought So anyway, I went to Pinterest. So you remember when I was doing the one for the engagement? So I also did a mood board for the wedding. So from the wedding gown, the groomsmen outfits, color themes. I did one for decor, what I wanted. I did one for the bridesmaids, their makeup, their outfits.
Even makeup?
Yes. Groomsmen, outfits, shoes.
Are you getting tips?
Yes.
Or are you like me who is like,
I did all the whole shebang. Like I did a whole mood board. Because I feel like most times, the reason why people impose things on brides and grooms is because you don't know what you want.
Yeah, you need to know what you want.
Yeah.
You either have a mood board like Sue, or you're like me who wants simple, let's do this, let's get married, let's start.
Let's do it.
So you had a whole mood board for all these things, even makeup.
Even makeup. My bridal makeup, I had one for my bridal gown, bridal shoes, nails, manicure. What did I want to, how it marries with everything else. Yeah. So I did it all. The whole theme, the visual bit, I put it together. Obviously.
No, you're also an event planner. So, guys.
If the shoe fits. Yeah, so I did that. I also created an email address for the wedding. So that one that we could deal with Victor, yes. Because most times I feel like a lot gets churned into your personal email address and it gets lost.
Yes, guys, it's very important.
Yeah, so
we created a common channel of communication that the two of us would actually get.
That you can
and plus
access.
My husband is that I think also part of the reason why I was like that is because he is such a planner.
Clearly.
Yeah, clearly. He is good at it. Like he will write down, this is what I want, this is how it should look like, these are the outfits, this is where we will get, like all that. I love details, but mathematics, leave the budget and everything to me. The rest you will do.
Yeah, because anyway, he's the interior designer.
Yeah, I know. So one of you has to one of you has to give. Yeah. So he's the one who was detail oriented in terms of the decor, the what. And
Yeah.
as we go along, I'll tell you the story when we get there about the decor, and he went and so he was like, no, I want this there. And we were like, it's just, we can do it.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So budget, I was very, very keen
Yes.
on what our budget would be. Because I needed to know this is what we are budgeting for. Because also the both of us were very cautious in terms of what we didn't want to, overburden or ask people. And
Yeah.
plus with his, also he's a pastor, so you can't just go asking everyone for. So we needed to really
Yeah.
panga ourselves.
come
We
with
needed
decorum.
I know you come with decorum, so we needed to panga ourselves. And as I had alluded to earlier, he had really saved for this whole process. Basically.
So clearly, for clarity, the first part is figure out what do you want.
Yeah.
Then
you need
that
to know what you want.
informs
The budget,
your budget.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after knowing what we wanted, we did our budget. Our budget was below half an M, by the way. And mark you, we knew over 600 people would attend. Because
you guys, you tried.
like, pre-COVID. Let me tell you,
Below
on the
500K.
on the
600
lead
fun.
day,
but I was there.
1,000 people showed up. You guys, anyway,
Crusade.
story for another day. But we knew we would have so many people in the wedding, given that he's really known and you can't tell people not to come. Pre-COVID, so we didn't have numbers need to be regulated, and I knew I can't do an invite only. That was just off the conversation.
Yeah.
We needed not to even talk about it. So we needed to know a photographer that will fit our budget, the vendors basically.
Yeah.
Because now, after knowing that, we would now then, of course, for us, we chose to have a committee.
But then, how did you guys choose your vendors? Did you the committee, was it the planning committee, or it's the planning committee plus guys to help raise cash towards the wedding?
So what we did was we actually didn't form like a WhatsApp group for inviting guys. What we did was we actually we didn't settle on the vendors. We had suggestions of vendors, but we chose to give them to the committee, and then the committee would also suggest vendors. And then we would sit down, evaluate, and do an analysis of these different vendors and agree on vendors. I don't know how you did in terms of budgeting, and then now did you now involve the committee? Because we also involved the committee. Ultimately, after we knew this is what we would want, we involved the committee, and we now, together with the committee, agreed on a figure of the budget.
So I think I had a cheat sheet, more or less, because I'm within the industry, the wedding industry.
Okay.
So we had a tentative budget and then an actual budget.
Yes.
So the tentative one was like extractions of what we think these things would cost. I mean, if I'm thinking of having an outdoor wedding, that means tents, transport, and if I know the place is like somewhere in Ngong Road or Westlands, I know a variation of costs of how much that would come with, what are we carrying. So from that, at least we were like, okay, this would cost, deco would cost this, photography would cost this,
yes.
We equally had a planning committee. However, I think most of the discussions we did the two of us first.
Yeah, you discuss first.
Yeah.
The same thing. We discuss first, we give suggestions, and then we go to the committee. We agree.
So I think the vendors that we didn't agree on, or we were having a challenge agreeing with we now took that further to the committee.
All right.
But then this one was formed, I think, either 2 months to the wedding.
Oh, ours was formed earlier than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours was 2 months to wedding. So most of the planning we had already done. So it was just because we had already figured out where the venue would be. What we needed help with was figuring out how will we bring this cost lower. So we now had to look for people who would help us, someone who knows someone to help speak on your behalf so that you're given a better rate.
All right.
I think the vendors that we, now thinking about it, some of the vendors that I had in mind were thwarted.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just here to say that Victor thwarted most of my vendors.
Was it because of this is what our budget is, this is what we are, and then when you look at these vendors,
Yeah.
They don't quite fit the bill, maybe, or they are over. Like if we go and approach them,
Yeah.
clearly they
We
would be
can't
hookah.
afford
We
them.
can't even.
Yeah. I
Also
don't
that could be. You need to actually as we have
consider that,
said,
yes.
know what you want, what your budget is. It's
Yeah.
very important to know what your budget is, so
Well,
that
I
even
think,
as you approach these people,
yeah.
that I can trade. That one, no.
I
That
think
one, yes. Yeah.
some were expensive
Okay.
for us.
All right.
Then also because ours was a COVID wedding, it was during the COVID
Ah.
period. Some of the
COVID
things,
weddings
yeah,
should be
as we were
grateful
lucky,
because you are the luckiest lot, because
yeah,
you could now, whatever number you wanted, you'd
yes.
have it anyway.
But then you see, when
No
we were
need
planning
to.
this thing in 2019, talking about like at what point we'd want our wedding, at that moment we didn't think COVID would be
COVID would,
present.
yes.
But then now
COVID would
we
start,
had
yeah.
a war on what? On the number of
Number of
guests.
people, number of
Yes.
guests.
Because Victor wanted 300.
Ah,
If he could, he would have had more than 300.
yeah, I get.
Clearly, me, I was like, who are those people?
Oh, you just wanted, we want family and friends, and
Those
therefore we know.
Show me those
just
300 people here. Where are they? Well, I understand weddings are it's a
community
party
and a party
to enjoy your
thingy
community and
yeah.
celebrate. Lakini on the flip side, I'm like, not all these people will be part and parcel of your life.
Of course.
Some of them, you see them
There are 1,000
in 3
people.
years. Yes.
Of course, some of them will forever be part and parcel of your life,
Exactly.
but a good chunk of them, let's face it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
never show up later on.
That's true.
Yeah,
So
they
I
just come
actually
attend.
get it.
But then most of them are like friends of your parents, where they work.
Your village comes with a
Yes.
whole 65-seater
Yeah.
bus.
Kwanza,
365
I don't know if it's a
buses.
stereotype I have, ama it's just Kikuyus actually show up and show out.
Right, yeah, they actually do.
Yeah.
Come to think of it,
Right?
we love,
Yeah.
weddings.
There's
those
that
are
communal
huge, and we need to do this for our son and our
togethers.
daughter.
Yeah. But then
need to
even
come
that
carry
whole
the kiondo.
But then also that part of you live and see, aside from weddings, most times, well, for the friends whom I know that
Yeah.
come from the Kikuyu community, you'll hear all our cousins hang out together.
Yes, yes.
From our side,
Family
yes.
get-togethers.
From our side, yes, you'll hear it, but sometimes it's not as often as you'll hear
Yeah, we do
my
it quite
Kuyo
oftenly.
counterparts
Yeah,
talking
we
about.
do that oftenly.
Yeah.
That's true. I totally get it, and probably that's why you would. Most of the times we want the weddings
the
will be
Mugithi.
Mugithi.
Yes.
Somebody told that, somebody was saying that song needs to. We already just need to get a new one. But anyway, we
recently
show up
in
for
like a
it.
Luo wedding, and I feel like, well, when there's no ohangla, and the ohangla is a type of music.
Yeah.
So when there's a specific type of music, it's when people come to dance. But then it's a very selfish type of genre.
Oh,
It's like
because of
Lingala,
how
not
people even
everyone.
dance. Not everyone.
Yeah, not
will
everyone.
dance to it
But then
and
you see
people.
Mugithi,
It's
your
everyone.
uncle,
It's
your
friendly,
shosho.
everyone.
Yeah, but then
We just
also
dance to it.
so now that Mugithi part of it, the dancing part of it, not very many people were coming. Watu walikuwa were watching.
Ah.
It was clearly the wedding for the couple, and they were like, "You guys dance, enjoy yourself." Aside from a few mamas who came, and danced, but then that Soul Train wasn't as big as it usually is for Kuyo weddings.
I know.
Well, you can come sue me, but I said what I said.
So we actually had settled on all these things, and
Yeah.
so the committee was basically to just run also the logistics of things and
Yeah.
know how the day would run. And so for us, we knew we also projected the amount we expected from people.
Yeah,
So that when you are budgeting, you don't budget with money that is in other people's pockets. I don't know whether I'm making sense.
You actually
budget
making
with
sense.
what you have. So we budgeted
Yeah.
with what we had. And we said, if people give, well and good, we thank the Lord. If they don't,
Yeah.
the wedding still continues.
For
so that you
sure.
don't have a situation where you get to the D-Day, you have a deficit, you expected people to give, they didn't give, and then you start the wedding
Asking
probably
loans.
on, yeah.
Or you have unrealistic, the part where we were saying you should dream about all these aspects of our wedding.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't necessarily mean that you become unrealistic to the
True.
sense that now you're pressuring the people who are now willing to support you to fund
to
your
fund
dream.
it.
Yet
Yes.
you yourself, you can't fund it.
Yeah, true. Like, can you afford what you're dreaming? Okay, yeah, faith, we are faithing it. We are going to, but still, can you fund what you're dreaming? Because I've
Yeah.
seen weddings where brides have had, and of course, the groom also has had to take out a loan
Yeah.
on the D-Day, to actually pay the vendors. Because definitely the vendors won't live there at it, because at you and leave you alone and you go to your honeymoon with their money, and the people who've had
They'll
to
cut your dress.
spend. And by the way, if you don't have the money on the D-Day,
Yeah.
the service providers won't go home. Hey, you're going to stay there until you're also in
Until
this
darkness.
industry. You know how it feels when someone
Weh.
doesn't pay you after you have
Me,
done the
that's
work.
why I usually say, imagine, let's finish up our discussions the day before, because see, I'll be
True.
setting up
By
at your
the-
wedding
yeah,
the day
yeah,
before.
yeah.
Let's just complete all payments before then, not unless
I
it's a special
know.
case. That's when I
Of
receive
course.
payments on the D-Day of the wedding.
Yeah.
And then it's so bad in that you're waiting for someone to pay you, and then maybe their schedule ran late, so that means this is around 6
I know.
7 p.m.
Or
in the night.
7, 8
So,
p.m. You're still there.
in the darkness, you're
running.
busy. Excuse me.
And then, of course,
Please
you
pay
will
me.
want to need the bride. It has been their day. You want the bride because they're the ones who negotiated
Yeah.
most, probably.
I know.
And probably the committee has vamoosed and gone.
Yes. Hey, me on my wedding day, I was like, pay those people. I do not want to have
To deal,
to
yeah, I
think
get.
about anybody's
You need to
payment.
delegate, by the way, brides out here, those who are planning, and
yeah.
grooms. Please delegate so that people are not running after you for everything on the D-Day.
Delegate to trusted people. Otherwise, I've
Yeah.
had people have run away with people's monies.
Oh yeah,
And
trusted
gifts.
people. Oh, and
We shall discuss how
we
people
need
run
to
away with
actually
gifts.
wanafanywa ile mambo in Nairobi.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, you actually just need to. And what we are basically trying to say is you need to actually just budget for what you can afford. We are faithing it, yes. And it is not bad to ask for help. Weddings are a community thing.
Yes.
So do not fear asking for help. People will help. But then also, don't want to milk every coin.
Don't be entitled.
Eh, by the
Clearly,
way,
what
true,
were
that
they
is
saying?
entitlement.
By
Yeah,
the way,
do not be.
entitlement, take it to your village.
Yeah, by the way, don't be entitled. If someone helps you, you know those who you can count on, yeah?
Yeah.
If someone helps you, fine. If they don't, well and good also. People are usually in different seasons at whatever time you're doing your wedding. So you just understand. Do not be entitled and feel, oh, Sue did not give me this amount. So, and I know she usually has the cash or the money. So budget for what you can
Planning for
afford.
people's bank accounts.
I know, you're like, I know Sue
hata
earns this much.
hakunipatia something.
Sue will give me this amount because
Or the people who
Don't.
dictate how much you should give them. I've had people who
Oh,
have
me, I
guys in
want
their
this
bridal party.
amount. Oh, the
and they
bridal
tell
party.
You, or in the committee, and they tell you, you're part of this committee, you should give us 50,000. Well, that's just a
Unless
matter.
you're that close, maybe it's your sibling and you had that part.
Even
Maybe
if
I
I'm your
don't know.
sibling, Fiona.
But then
surely.
also, I shouldn't force you to give.
Yeah.
Either way. Don't force people to give.
First of all, should we just talk about the fact that people who are placed on planning committees
Already have
technically
True.
are giving their time
Time.
and resources.
Resources.
Because there are people who run around looking for vendors, calling
True.
vendors on your
Yeah,
behalf,
yeah.
going for meetings with you.
That's true, by the
for
way.
people who have good committee
Yeah,
members.
yeah.
Especially a planning committee.
Yeah, true.
So imagine, on top of me giving my time and resources,
I need
time
to
which is
give
a
this
resource,
amount, yeah.
you still want me to raise money for you. And you're
Yeah, true.
dictating
By the way,
how much I should
how much
give
you
you.
should give.
Surely. Entitlement?
But they don't
Entitlement
be,
match?
I know. Don't be entitled.
I almost
It's
said entitlement.
Ma.
Yeah, so
I know.
don't be
so-
entitled.
Yeah, do not be entitled. So what you can afford, have that small nice wedding on your 10th
Exactly.
anniversary when you guys have worked and are grounded in your careers. You will
can do
you will
it.
do you will
Yes.
celebrate it.
Yeah.
You'll do that destination
Yeah.
wedding on your when you can actually afford
Yeah.
it. But
So,
if you can afford a destination wedding, why not? If you can afford just doing it in a simple garden and with simple decor, and
Yeah.
please do it. Just do what you can basically, so that
Yeah.
you don't also start your marriage on a wrong foot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is when I've lost my trail of thought again. Wow. Wow, what's
It will
happening?
just come. It will come. So yeah, I think also as much as we are talking about also budgets, you need to know where to source for who. In
Yes,
terms
and
of
I
vendors,
think
in
that's
terms of
something we
everything,
can.
basically, even venues. There's
Yes,
a venue that goes for a better price at a different
then
place
another
than the
one.
one that you know, and just you need to like have the time to source all these things around.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
And I
Yeah.
think we'll get deeper. We'll dive in deeper on,
Yes.
how we chose our vendors, how did
Yes.
the
The vendor
actual
selection
planning
process.
go, and aside
Mm,
from how the actual planning was,
right.
the D-Day, how was it? And now,
The D-Day,
post
guys.
D-Day, yeah. So if you are a
Yeah.
bride to be or a groom to be,
Mm.
I think the parting shot would be weddings are a faith journey.
Oh yes, they are. You
Weddings
need
are a
to
faith
faith
journey.
it.
I feel like whether or not you believe in Jesus,
Yeah.
it is still a faith journey.
It is a faith journey because
And because us primarily we believe
we
in
believe in
God
God.
and
We believe in
the Father
the
and the
God
Son,
the Father,
the
the
Son
Son, and the
and the
Holy
Holy Spirit,
Spirit.
Jesus
Trinity,
Christ.
Jesus Christ. Yes.
Yeah. For us,
We
the
faith
wedding
it.
planning process was a faith journey.
True.
Clearly you can see we are youngins, we are young
Yeah.
people, so we are of the school of thought that if at all you are open, you have community around you, and we will keep saying this.
Yes.
We feel like, well, not feel like, we
We
know
know.
and we have seen that weddings are a community project.
Yeah. True.
And
More or
that is
less.
why why else would you invite people to
To
celebrate with
celebrate
you
with
in
you.
a party?
Exactly.
It's because of community.
Mm-hmm.
And so if in your community, and assuming you're in a space, maybe if you're privileged and you're in a space that in your life that everything is working out,
Yeah.
definitely you'll have saved, probably.
You'll have saved. You'll have probably everything on,
Or
but you can't
yeah,
celebrate alone at the end of the day.
exactly.
You can't have a
If
mini
you
party.
have
Yeah.
parents who are well off,
Yeah, well off. They
they
can
might
decide to
to
fund.
fund everything, and
Hello?
we've seen that around.
Yeah, we've actually seen it happen.
But then what I know about communities is people give.
True.
And most times, without entitlement and without expecting so and so
I
to
know
come
to
through for
do,
you,
yeah.
we know that because it's a faith project, God usually sends men to bless you.
Yeah, and I actually
Men and
wanted to
women.
say you will never get to a point where you say, now I have enough to do the kind of wedding I want. Even those
Yeah.
who do destination weddings, you'll hear,
Yes,
I
I
wish I
wish.
added, I wish I had the
Exactly.
money to. So
Yeah.
do not wait. I'm not marrying because I'm waiting for that day that I will have enough money
I
to
don't think
fund
you'll ever
everything that
have.
you
And
will
money
never
comes and
have.
goes, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, money
So
comes
what
and
we're
goes.
saying is faith it.
Faith
Yeah.
it.
And don't be held back at it because of finances or
Yes.
because you don't have a certain thing or the other. Community.
Yeah.
People will rally around you
Yeah.
and support you,
So
and
if you
you'll have
have
a good wedding.
community that is sober and these guys are genuine, then it's okay if people want to raise cash on your
Of
behalf.
course.
And
Why not?
and don't dictate.
True.
Appreciate, plan yourself, and we remember because just because you believe in God and you're faithing it doesn't mean there are no principles on
Of course.
finances.
Yes.
Be a good steward. Use that money properly, budget for
Yes.
it.
Budget for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and be accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it. If you've not subscribed, Aki, what are you
What
doing?
this is robbery without violence.
Please subscribe and also click on that
I
notification bell
almost
so
said
that
robbery
with
violence, violence with robbery.
violence. Us, once again,
Yes.
this is Fee.
And this is Sue.
And this is
Dear
Dear
Bride.
Bride.